Welcome to Humanity at its Best. I'm Carol Cohn, and today we have a dynamic mother and daughter duo. We have Carrie Fox and her daughter Sophia, and they're going to talk about a marvelous project that they have created. It's a book, and it's called Adventures in Kindness. So welcome to the show, Carrie and Sophia. Why did you write the book?
We wrote Adventures in Kindness after writing in our journal, actually. Sophia and I keep a journal, and we were having conversations in that journal about what it felt like to be experiencing things that were mean and people who were mean.
And what mean felt.
Yeah.
And how we could change that.
Right, that we didn't like the way mean felt. So we just decided we didn't set out to write a book, actually. We set out to develop a list of adventures purely that Sophia and I could go on that would help spread kindness in the world. And we realized after putting quite a few of those adventures down on paper and then going on them ourselves, that it would be the basis of a really fun book for kids.
You probably have a favorite or two of the different chapters. So which are your favorites, Sophia? Oh, your favorite adventures, probably.
I like doing a kindness rocks. I do that a lot more now, and it's really fun.
Kindness rocks, we really just pull rocks from our backyard and we put special messages on them. And we've seen them a lot, actually, during this time of COVID. A lot of people are doing this. Every time we go out for a run or a bike ride, we'll take a few with us and we'll leave them in places on trails or on people's front yards as a way to leave messages of kindness for folks, especially people who are experiencing social isolation in this time.
So obviously, as you were finishing up the writing, we had this pandemic, this COVID-19. And so did that have an impact on your feeling about the importance of this book at this time?
It's really been interesting. We released this at a time when we were all in quarantine, and it was not the plan to release the book during quarantine, but we went with it and had a virtual launch party and realized that the reception was really good among parents who were looking for activities to keep their kids active during the day when we were all homeschooling or as we say, parenting during crisis, keeping our kids busy and active and engaged. And then George Floyd was murdered. And suddenly we were in a place where we were thinking about race in America in a way that we hadn't in a while, in terms of the depth at which we were seeing conversations happening and people wanting to take action. And we decided as a family that actually the book offered a really good outlet for us to be able to have conversations with our kids and with kids who are now part of the Adventures in Kindness community around what it looks like to raise racially conscious kids. And there are actually quite a few adventures in the book around building empathy, understanding cultures that are different than our own, challenging ourselves to read books that feature main characters who are Black and brown. And so over the last few weeks, especially, we've actually rolled out a summer reading list and a reading club that focuses on having kids read books by Black and brown authors and then bringing them together to have conversations around it. So what started really as a book around giving kids options to go out in their community and make a difference and feel like they have all of the tools at their fingertips to create change has really served as the platform for us to have much deeper conversations with our kids and with kids in the now Adventures in Kindness community, which has been a really good outlet for our family and for our community.
So what do you wish, Sophia? So your book is more and more people are going to know about it. And what do you wish is going to happen as a result of writing this book and then sharing it with your friends and communities? What do you wish is going to happen?
I think is I'm showing them how to do it, and then you're not just telling them. Sometimes if you tell a kid something and you just talk about it to them, they might get a little bored and start to stop listening. But if you take them on a kindness adventure, we try to make them fun and understandable.
Yeah, I think it's about that experiential learning piece, right? That as Soph just said, that we can talk at our kids all day long, and that typically doesn't work. But what we've wanted to do here is to create a platform or a space to be able to start conversations and often critical conversations that aren't always easy to have with kids, and quite honestly not easy to have with adults either, that allow us to internalize how important empathy and justice and courage and bravery are, and that those are not qualities that are easily attained, and they require practice. And so I think, I really feel like this has been a really special experience for me to have with Sophia, because we've been able to internalize and learn a lot of that together, quite honestly. And I hope that other families do the same.
So do you think now that you've done this, that you want to be a writer and do other books in the future?
So we actually have two answers for that question. So this summer we might do a pen pal program, yeah. And we'll assign kids to other kids, and then they can write back and forth. And my sister might help make another book that we're going to do.
Yeah, we've been talking about having the next book be a crowdsourced book, where we already have this offering on our website where kids can go on and submit adventures that they are going on that aren't featured in the book. And our hope is that the next book will be an amazing compilation of adventures, kindness adventures that kids are going on, not just even around the country, but that we're having kids submit adventures from around the world too.
That's wonderful. So this has been a wonderful conversation, and we have to wrap it up. But I always love to give the last comments to my guests.
Maybe just one thing, if you find value in it. Part of this adventure that we went on to write this book was because for so long we had been wanting to expose our kids to empathy and to service in a lot of different ways. And we often found roadblocks on where we could engage our kids that allowed us to bring our kids along, since so many volunteering opportunities require that a child be of a certain age. Any adventure in this book, a kid can open up the book, and really it's written for kids between 6 and 12, but they can open up the book and they can have the tools right in front of them to affect change in their world. And that could be in learning and engaging in the politics system, and getting engaged in the upcoming elections, in going on adventures that help their community or their school or their family. So what we hope is that we really incite and involve kids in making change and doing that on their own and feeling empowered to do so.